everyone. I thought let's have a look at some of my tea leaf reading cards, and I thought I'll show you my learner deck cards. This here I've had out for many years now, and it's one of the most popular card decks sold, and I call it just my learner deck because it has all the keywords on the cards. So when you purchase tea cards, you get the big booklet, which is this, and you get the card deck, which is this, and it comes in a cotton bag for the cards on their own. If you option the cards with the 9-box mats, which I'll show you in a minute, you then get the tin with the 9-box mat. So the options with these cards is cards on their own, cards with the 9-box mat, which comes in the tin, or you can also then option a 50 charm kit, and that way you have cards, mat for 9-box and charms. So in here I've actually got both sets of my charms. So there's 100 charms in there, and that is the add-on kit as well as the standard. So that is some options, and they're really great tools for someone who's wanting to get into symbolic divination. And in particular, all of these items are based upon tea symbols commonly found in teacups. So I wanted to show you a little bit today using the learner cards with the 9-box mat. Now I've raised my camera up really high, and I'm hoping we can get it all pictured in because I'm really short. The mats are made in a beautiful spandex stuff, and I've made them in that because it's completely washable. And if you're a bit of a klutz like I am, I'm really good at spilling drinks everywhere, all over mats, and I've done it so many times even with clients on my velvet mats and everything as well. So every card deck of mine has 2 ladies and 2 men. And the first thing I always say when you get a deck is pick out 1 lady, 1 man of which ones you like, but make sure that they face together. So that lady and that man face each other, and that man and that lady face each other. And if you're reading for a same-sex relationship, then you can choose your 2 men or your 2 ladies. So I always say just choose 1 couple. Some people like to leave all the people cards in the actual deck, but I always say just choose 1 set and leave them in the deck when you are just doing regular readings. So that is step number 1. So I'll just put that there now. Let's have a shuffle. So with this 9-box mat, you've got options on this. You don't actually have to use the whole 9 squares. And when you're starting out, I always start off with 3 cards. Well, you start off with your daily card, and you can just put that as your daily card, and you can look. And this is the beauty of this learner deck. It has keywords written on them. So it's just to make them nice and simple. And that's the back of the card. It's just my mum's teacup, my dear old late mum. She passed nearly 2 years ago now, at the grand old age of 94, which we never ever expected my dear old mum to get to, but she did. So when you're doing tea cards, you take and you do a daily card. And the beauty with this mat is you can use it for whatever tools you like. You don't actually have to use the 9 boxes, but you would use them, say, 3 card readings. And 3 card readings, I always say the series of 3s. They can be past, present, future. It could be situation, pros and cons. It could be what should I not do, the current situation, and what you should do. So that's how you can use 3 cards. I always work in the series of 3s. And if you're in my Facebook group, I've got a PDF in there, I think it is there, loaded up in the files about the series of 3s. So you can start off with your 3 cards, and also when you buy these cards, you get entry level. If you buy the cards only, you get the beginner course on how to use your tea cards. If you buy the bundles of the cards with the charms, you get all 3 levels of the card course, beginner, intermediate, advanced, as well as the independent charm reading course and 10 free casting sheets. So as far as dollar value, you're getting huge bang for your buck, as we say. So you can use your 3 cards there, and from there you can expand to a 5 card reading. And when you're doing a 5 card reading, it's a little bit different than those of you who may know Lenormand cards, where Lenormand cards will have them laid out in a straight line of 5. I prefer it in the cross spread, because we are then reading those three, the diamond around it, what's the centre focus, and so on. And I go through all of that in the courses on how to read a box of 5. And from here, even if you only want to do a 5 card reading, we can expand even on these. So I'll actually put these back in and we'll give a shuffle and I'll show you what I mean. So I just like to put them in at random. There's my deck here. I've done the deck edit. I actually coloured all the edges of them with a gold Sharpie just to give myself more work. I just thought, let's do a deck hack. One of the girls who runs the Facebook group for me, I've got 3 beautiful ladies that do all the work in there, because I'm the creative side and I don't get a lot of time. And one of the girls, Wilma Wilson, she's actually even got a deck where she's added glitter on something. So I can't remember, I think it was a fairy deck. So if we're going to do a real life reading, I've used it in a reading the other day, a young man who's going through a divorce, there's no children, and they're still living under the roof. Lord knows how you cope with an ex-partner living under the same roof, but lots of people do it these days, even with families. I get it. So let's use that as a case, and we'll say, he reckons he doesn't want to know about love again in the future, but I would say he probably does, but he's just hurt, I think. That's pretty common. So let's have a look at what's going on for this young man's love life for the next 3 months. 5 cards is very good for if you're only looking for them short-term readings. So we'll start in the centre. We've got the cat. Cat on here, it says comfort, female friend, negatives, two-faced or deceit. So as a centre card, we could look at that and say, oh, he's a little bit concerned about trust. So we'll then lay each card around it. So we're then looking, and again, we can go past, present, future. So here, if we're looking here at the past, we can say, yep, they were good friends when they started out there before their married life. They did used to communicate really well. So future, if we're talking about him and his love life, again, we've got tree, family, good, stability, growth, which tells me, yes, something may come of a new love. So there would tell me there's still good prospects for him to grow. So we've then got these 3 here, and you can read these all as part of the current if you like, or you can say this is current, and then we've got this top and bottom is just more advice towards what is current. So hourglass here would tell me he needs to allow himself some time. The bird here is very important because it's a communication card, which means he must not shut down. It's very important that he still keeps his communication gates open. So even on these, you then can layer, if you want to layer any one of these cards. So here in particular, we've got the cat, and it's probably the hardest card here is about learning to trust again. So I'm actually just going to layer again over the cat. And I've got the angel. The angel's a beautiful card, no negatives whatsoever. And there would tell me, yes, in divine time, he may learn to trust again. And the reason I can come to divine time, we've got divine here, but we've also got a timing card here. So it would tell me, yes, in time, he will learn to trust again. So that's just how simple you can go with 5 cards. And like I said, you can layer to wherever you need to, and that's perfectly okay if you do. You can then, like I said, open these up to a full 9-box reading. And a 9-box reading gives us so much information because we're not just reading past, present, future. You've got all these different areas. You've got what we call an inner cross, we've got the outer cross, we've got entry card, exit card. You can layer on each one, and it's a massive reading. And the first way I look at a 9-box is the center card. I construct a series of little sentences all around, and that's the start of a 9-box. So we'd say cat and angel if we're talking about love life. Yes, learning to trust in divine, and it's almost like the universe is protecting this young man, and the universe will open up for love again. Cat and timing card. Learning to trust again, it will take some time. Cat and sword. Sword's a hard one, but it does, in its positive, means overcoming difficult situations. So it does mean 2 things. He may need to sever the ties with the past in order to learn to trust again. Cat and tree, we've already touched, which is about good grounding, good timing. Cat and question mark, he must not doubt some of his thoughts and feelings. Cat and bird, learning to communicate. Cat and house, comfort, stability, and again, stepping out of the comfort zone is just as important. And cat and teapot is about, again, social gatherings and so on, which means he needs to put himself out there. So, like I said, any one of these you can layer on. So, sword being a difficult one, I would say, okay, is there something that he needs to cut away? The tower there is often about rise in success. In its negative, it's loneliness or isolation, which is, cut away that part of it. It's like, don't be lonely, don't isolate himself out of society. So a 9-box reading gives us a huge amount of information, but your maths, you don't have to use the 9 boxes. You can use whatever you like. There is also readings what you call like the pyramid. You can go your 1, your 2, 3, and then you can also go your 5 across here. I didn't put the boxes there on that because it confuses people. But you can do that. I know there's a lot of readings that are done in the pyramid. There is also what I call an umbrella reading. I don't know if I've really told many people or showed anyone this. So if you're new to it, let me know. An umbrella reading would be the canopy of the umbrella, the stem of the umbrella. So literally here we've got our canopy of the umbrella and the stick, the handle. And again, you would read these of what is the umbrella, so what is it that is protected, and here is what is the basis, the core. So again, your 9-box mat, you can lay out however you choose. So these are great, good gift ideas. These tea reading and tea card reading and charm divination is a fabulous entry point for someone if they're very new to divination, if they've been a little bit scared and they're worried about the dark and the gloomy side some types of readings can bring. This is certainly not a scary way of reading. You can use your 9-box mats, the same thing with your charms if you wish. You can also layer charms over cards, which is what I do a lot of. But again, we're just laying them out in our box of 9, and we still read the exact same way. So there's lots of goodies there. And stay tuned, and if you're on my mailing list, you will soon get a code that will give you a huge discount on some of these new goodies. So stay tuned. I'll put the link for my newsletter subscription, and you then will stay updated on new videos and new blog posts. And this is how I'm actually packing this up. So we've got our cards. I'll put my topper card. There's a topper card on there, and that goes in, and that goes in your tin. It is a tight fit, but it fits. And that is your tin and your book. So thanks for listening. They do come in all the card deck mats, so they each have a mat. This one is Mystical, which is the latest deck that I have. Oh, where's my mat? I put my mat out somewhere, but I don't know where. I've got my mat somewhere. Let's have a look at another one. Royal Tea. This is the Royal Tea one, which is a beautiful soft pink. And this is gorgeous too. So that is the Royal Tea mat. And these are the Royal Tea cards, which is a lovely soft pink. And again, the mat is made to take all of those. Don't know where I put my Mystical mat. I put things down and then I never know where I put them. So that's the problem. So I'll just fold that up and that goes in there. So like I said, it is a tight fit, but they fit. I'm just not very good. I've only got little hands. One of the popular mats too is, he doesn't really match a particular deck as such, but I just love him, is the Raven King, and he can be used with any card deck, but he's just so gorgeous that I had to have him. So, and that's the Raven King, and I did him with this beautiful dark black mats because these are great for charms. Because of the black, your charms will pop out, and particularly if you YouTube or do lots of photos or online readings, he is a really popular mat. He sold out very fast, so I've had to restock him very quickly. So, and he comes in the tin himself as well. So that's my new mats and some of the kits. So I'll put the link below for the newsletter link, and stay tuned because there will be some sales coming up, and it will be notified for those in the newsletter, and you'll get the first in, first served. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.